Former RHONJ house husband Joe Giudice is begging President Donald Trump for a pardon. He spent 41 months in prison for bankruptcy fraud and was eventually forced to leave America. The father of four now lives and works in the Bahamas. So, what exactly did he say to the president? Keep reading for more details. Joe Giudice begs President Trump for pardon. It has been 5 years since RHONJ star Joe Giudice was released from prison and deported back to Italy. For his family, it was terrifying, as they had been fighting for him to stay in America. He was still married to Teresa Giudice, who was raising their 4 children in New Jersey. She had also served time for their fraud convictions, but for less than a year. When Joe was sent to Italy, his wife and daughters traveled to see him, but he was asked for a divorce. It was clear that his time behind bars had changed everyone and caused a lot of distance. Now in the Bahamas, Joe's girls can come and see him whenever they want. Plus, he has started his own business endeavors. He promotes them vigorously on social media and even had a short merch drop. Now, he is desperate to return to America, so he is begging President Donald Trump for a pardon. Joe shared a slide of snaps, old and new, to illustrate how important his family is to him. He then added that he just wanted to be able to travel and see his girls again. The former RHONJ star finished his message off by stating how much he respected the president. It makes sense that he would go this route, as a pardon was just granted to reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley. The couple was serving a collective 19 years behind bars, but their daughter worked tirelessly to get them released. Savannah Chrisley campaigned with President Trump and did not stop until Todd and Julie were home. Can it happen? This is a very real possibility that Joe Giudice could get a pardon from President Trump. He was willing to listen to Savannah Chrisley's pleas over her parents and respected her family. Therefore, he ultimately pardoned them and could not wait to get them released within 24 hours. The RHONJ family has struggled with Joe being away, and he is showing his respect to President Trump. That could bode well for him, and many of his followers felt very good about him getting a pardon. He received support from his ex-wife as well as their daughters. Of course, some followers felt that this could not happen and questioned why Joe did not become a citizen when he had the chance. These questions could be asked for days, but now all Joe wants is to be able to come and go as he pleases. Do you believe that Joe has a chance at returning, and would this make for a good RHONJ spin-off? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Joe Giudice is making headlines once again, and this time, he's taking his plea all the way to the top. In a shocking new twist to his years-long legal saga, the former Real Housewives of New Jersey star has issued a public appeal to former President Donald Trump, asking for a presidential pardon that would allow him to return to the United States. And in true Giudice fashion, the move was as dramatic, controversial, and headline-grabbing as fans have come to expect. Now living in the Bahamas after being deported to Italy in 2019, Joe has made no secret of his desire to come back to the U.S., if not for his own sake, then for the sake of his 4 daughters. But this latest move, laced with political undertones and celebrity desperation, has Bravo fans, legal analysts, and even Teresa Giudice herself raising eyebrows. The plea goes public. The plea came via an emotional video Joe posted on his Instagram account late Friday night. Set against a glowing Caribbean sunset, Joe stood in front of the camera wearing a navy blue polo and aviator sunglasses, his voice unusually measured as he addressed President Trump. "Mr. President," he began, "I'm asking you, from one father to another, to please help me come home." Joe went on to detail his long and painful journey since being deported after serving a 41-month prison sentence for federal fraud charges. "I've paid my time. I've been away from my family for years. I've missed graduations, holidays, birthdays. My daughters, they're growing up without their dad. I'm not a threat to anyone. I just want to live my life, be with my kids, and move forward." He added, "You helped a lot of people get a second chance. I'm asking to be one of them." The video quickly went viral, racking up more than 2 million views and launching the hashtag Pardon Joe Giudice across Twitter and Instagram. Ties to Trump. Reality world collides again. Joe's appeal wasn't entirely out of left field. There's a long and complicated connection between the world of Bravo and Donald Trump, a fellow reality TV veteran. Teresa Giudice, Joe's ex-wife, famously competed on Celebrity Apprentice in 2012, where she built a cordial working relationship with Trump. She even praised him in interviews at the time, calling him a great businessman and very smart. Though Teresa has since distanced herself from politics publicly, sources close to the family claim she was aware of Joe's planned video and didn't try to stop it. She's focused on her life with Louis Rulas, the source explained, but she understands why Joe's desperate. He misses his girls. He wants a do-over. Trump himself has previously used the power of the pardon generously. During his presidency, he issued high-profile pardons for rapper Lil Wayne, political ally Roger Stone, and even former Apprentice contestant Rod Blagojevich, a connection that gives Joe's camp hope. The legal reality. Can it actually happen? Experts are divided on whether a pardon could even be granted, since Joe's crimes involved federal fraud, but his deportation was handled through immigration courts, not criminal ones. What Joe is really seeking is not a pardon, but a re-entry waiver, explained immigration attorney Valeria Gomes. A pardon wouldn't necessarily override his deportation unless it's tied directly to the crimes that triggered the removal order. But Joe's legal team is reportedly exploring creative strategies, and they believe Trump, now on the campaign trail for a potential 2024 return, could use the opportunity to score favor with a certain base. "It's not about politics," Joe's lawyer told Page 6. "It's about family, about redemption, and about a man who served his time and deserves a second chance." Fans react, torn between sympathy and outrage. Bravo fans, never shy about voicing opinions, were sharply divided. Some rallied behind Joe, citing his clear efforts to reform and stay connected to his daughters. "Say what you want about him, but Joe has owned up to his mistakes," one commenter wrote on Reddit. "He's not perfect, but he loves those girls. Let the man come home." Others weren't as forgiving. "He committed serious crimes. He got deported. Actions have consequences," tweeted another fan. "Just because you were on Bravo doesn't mean you get a free pass." Still, many agreed the emotional toll on the Giudice daughters was heartbreaking. Teresa's dilemma. Public silence, private support. Teresa Giudice has so far remained silent publicly, but insiders say she's conflicted behind closed doors. She's in a new chapter, a close friend revealed, married, rebranded, peaceful. But Joe is the father of her children. If Trump did respond, she'd support it, even if she wouldn't say so out loud. The friend added that while Teresa doesn't want to reopen old wounds, she's always encouraged Joe to stay involved in the girls' lives, even from afar. When Gia graduated, Joe sobbed watching the live stream. They said, "He's not some deadbeat. He's just stuck." Gia speaks out, "We just want him back." The most powerful voice came from Giudice herself. The 23-year-old law student posted a heartfelt message on Instagram the morning after Joe's video aired. "My dad isn't perfect, but he's my dad. He made mistakes. He paid for them. He misses us every single day. If there's any chance he could come home, I support it 100%. She ended the post with a plea of her own. "President Trump, if you're listening, please consider giving my father a second chance." The message garnered hundreds of thousands of likes and reposts from Bravo stars and fans alike. What happens next? At the time of publishing, there's been no official response from Trump or his team. However, sources close to the former president say he's aware of the request and is reviewing the situation. Whether or not it's political theater, a genuine request for mercy, or both, one thing is clear: Joe Giudice isn't giving up. Conclusion: the long road home. From Bravo stardom to federal prison, deportation, and now a public plea to a former president, Joe Giudice's life continues to unfold like a drama ripped straight from a script. But it's all real. Real consequences, real regret, real hope. And for Joe, the dream of stepping back onto American soil, into the arms of his daughters, remains as fierce as ever.